Hi, I'm Nikhil. I'm one of the creators of Lilac, an open source data curation platform for LLMs. In this video, we're going to walk through some of the basics of Lilac, but we have lots more documentation on our website, so I invite you to go check that out. So we're going to take a look at the OpenOrca dataset, which is shown on the left here. If we click it, we can see some examples from this dataset, and as you'll notice, there are a bunch of question and response pairs. Now, this dataset is meant to be used to fine-tune an LLM that could be used for maybe a chatbot. Now, this data set has some responses that we don't like, so we're going to actually go ahead and remove them. So one of the types of responses that we don't like are when the language model references itself, meaning as a language model, I cannot do X. So let's get rid of those so the downstream LLM won't have that behavior. And so we're going to first click on this drop down here to focus on the response. And we're going to click the search box here, and then we're going to click this language model reference row. Now, this is a concept for language model reference, which will match documents that talk about this language model self-reference, but without regular expression search. Now, conceptual search is one of these powerful features in Lilac, which we'll get to in a later video. So for now, we're going to click on this result here. The results will be filtered and ranked by relevance to this language model reference concept. And as you'll see, these are not all identical, right? So this one says, I do not experience the concept of being busy. This one says, I am not able to browse the internet. So our concept can pick up on subtle differences in ways that the language model would say something like that. Now you'll notice that there's 60 of these 100,000 rows here. And what we're going to do is go to the top and label all of these as drop. And so what we're going to do is click this button here. We're going to create a new label called drop. We're going to add this label to all 60 rows in our filter. And you'll now notice there's a tag called drop here. Now we could go through and maybe remove some of these if the concept didn't do exactly what we wanted to do. But in this case, I'll eyeball it. It looks pretty good, so I'm going to go ahead and be happy with this. So the next step is to actually export the dataset, but drop all of these rows that have this label. And so to do that, we're going to go to this export data button here. And we're going to choose the fields that we actually want to export. So let's get the ID, the system prompt, the question, and the response. We can ignore this field for now, and we don't need to add all of the other enriched fields. We're going to scroll down to step 2. And we're actually going to click this exclude checkbox for the drop label, which means when we download, remove all the rows that are tagged with this label. Step 3 is to choose our export format. Let's keep JSON. We're going to type in our file path here. So we'll say orca filtered.json. We'll get a little preview here to make sure these fields are the ones that we actually want. When we're happy with this, we're just going to go ahead and click export dataset. Now, as you'll see, we've actually written a new file, a JSON file with this filtered dataset, and we can continue with our downstream task of fine-tuning an LLM. That concludes the basic overview of Lilac. Thank you.